If you looked at a screen for more than 3 seconds 3 months ago, it is likely that you have seen this face.
Hey everyone, this is Gypsy. I'm finally free. I just want to send a quick video to thank everyone for the massive amount of support that I've been getting on social media. Everyone has been really, really nice.
And heard this story.
As far as true crime stories go, few captivate like the saga of Gypsy Blanchard, a young woman from Missouri who persuaded her online boyfriend to kill her own mother.
However, this case was not straightforward. These images show a young girl seemingly crippled by multiple physical and mental disabilities, wheelchair-bound and unable to survive without her mother's care. Gypsy's mother, Dee Dee, reported that her daughter suffered from leukemia, muscular dystrophy, asthma, seizures, and hearing and visual impairment. For years, Gypsy was prescribed a host of medications, underwent multiple surgeries, including teeth removal, and couldn't sleep without the aid of a breathing machine. But the truth is that Gypsy did not suffer any of the conditions that Dee Dee claimed, and for over 20 years had instead been a tragic victim of Munchausen by proxy at the hands of her mother, resulting in severe mental and physical trauma. In 2015, Gypsy joined a dating site where she met Godejohn, who later became her online boyfriend. At Gypsy's request, he came to her house and stabbed Dee Dee to death while Gypsy waited, ears covered, in a bathroom. The murder trial revealed the extent of Gypsy's abuse by her mother, and her lawyer was able to arrange a plea deal of second-degree murder and 10 years in prison.
Now, after serving 8 of her 10-year prison sentence, Gypsy has been released.
It was everywhere. She was everywhere. And then, just gone.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
When G.Rose's case was first public, there was a lot of media commotion, as you would expect with a case like this. And other than the people defending her, there was also this side vehemently defending Godejohn, G.Rose's boyfriend at the time, that actually committed the murder. Godejohn was painted in these parts of the media as a victim of G.Rose, whose autism was levied in his defense as the reason why he was naive enough to fall for G.Rose's manipulations. I think this is literally so offensive to autistic people, because just a little bit of research into Godejohn will tell you this dude being autistic is the least of his problems, okay? I don't even think Sorry, he is a terrible, terrible person. First of all, he already had a criminal record, and you wouldn't believe of what. Well, I don't recall if there were some other things as well on his record, but the thing that I recall was Godejohn was arrested for in a McDonald's for 7 hours before the police came and picked him up. Is that like a common trait of autism? DSM like list number 5? Oh yeah, autistic people masturbate in McDonald's? It is so freaking offensive, and people do this all the time. People infantilize autistic people saying, oh, well, he's autistic. He didn't know any better. He didn't know that he shouldn't have actually murdered somebody. I really do disagree. The second argument, people that were not very well informed about the G.Rose case had against G.Rose, which I myself thought in the very beginning was, wow, that sucks. This is before I knew about his weird tendencies, okay? I was like, oh wow, that really sucks. He did this for her almost, right? And they're not together anymore, which if you have looked into this case, even on a surface level, you would know why. Of course, G.Rose tried to escape. G.Rose actually, if I'm correct, and I will fact check this and put it in the video again, I think made 2 attempts to escape, and both attempts were aided by people that she met on the internet, which were, the internet was really, she would go on the internet, she would go on her mom's laptop when her mom was asleep, and just, Google stuff and talk to people, and that was her only, that was the only time she got any kind of freedom, right? And she would delete her browser history. But the thing about the internet is, and you know this if you're on the internet, there are creeps on the internet. Oh my god, who would have thunk, right? Yes, there are creeps on the internet, and both times that she tried to escape, she was caught by her mother, first of all, but she also escaped with men that were significantly older than her. So all adults in G.Rose's life, doctors, her step-parents, her mother, of course, and these men that she met on the internet, they all, of course, failed her. And Nicholas Godejohn was no different. Nicholas Godejohn actually told G.Rose that he would kill her mother if he was allowed to rape Gypsy Blanchard afterwards, after she died, her body, right? And G.Rose, of course, says, please don't, because all G.Rose wants is to escape. G.Rose describes her time waiting for Nicholas to be done, basically, in the bathroom as just surreal and scary, and everything that you would expect, right? And afterwards, Nicholas Godejohn came into the bathroom, and their agreement was that since Nicholas Godejohn could not Gypsy Blanchard, G.Rose's mother, Nicholas Godejohn can now G.Rose. That's not he didn't do that because he was autistic and naive, apparently. He did that because he is a terrible person. It's actually really fucking sad, because all of these things, just her dressing up because he wanted her to dress up and stuff like that, are being used against her when all of this evidence was always out there, right? And so her mass cancellation, really, in G.Rose's situation, it was a bunch of people making TikToks about her, right? And people were referencing this one clip where people asked her in the interview what she thinks about Nicholas Godejohn still being in prison. And she says something along to the lines of, well, I think I've served my time, and I think he's serving his time. And I think that was a perfect response from G.Rose with everything that I know about this case, right? So that is, and I think that was a perfect response. I think that was perfectly reasonable. But then begins the entire cycle again, where remember how I said in the beginning of when this case was first known to the public, G.Rose was painted as this evil manipulator who wasn't really wheelchair bound by some groups on media, and Nicholas Godejohn was painted as this naive autistic boy that fell for it all, right? And with this clip emerging, people started clipping that and talking about the same fucking thing, about how G.Rose manipulated Nicholas Godejohn. First of all, I think it's wildly offensive to autistic people to assume that they're so naive that they can literally be manipulated into committing a murder. I don't think that is I'm sure that is a thing that can happen, but not because you're autistic. I really don't think, right? But second of all, I think it is the same thing of people that don't know much about Godejohn and his history kind of jumping to this conclusion of, oh, she is the one that wanted her mother, Didi, killed, and he's the one facing punishment, right? Okay. People killing their abusers to get away from their immensely abusive environments is not really an uncommon phenomenon, right? I mean, there's people in prison as we speak for the same exact thing that G.Rose is known for. So why is G.Rose famous? The thing is, a lot of people, including me at the time, did think the spotlight was relatively new to her. Camera is not new to her at all. Think about it. Her mother capitalized on her supposed illnesses partly through the media. I think that is how she got her house. And then came the wave. She's a manipulator, manipulating you how she was manipulated. Has to be one of the most disgusting comments. I mean, she is a victim of abuse who has been in prison for the past 10 years. Why do you expect her to speak like Charlie D'Amelio? To which people say, she is choosing this. She is choosing to lead a lifestyle as an influencer with all of these newfound followers. She can take whatever she gets. I disagree. This is not somebody that woke up and was like, I want to be an influencer today. Or I want to be an influencer and that's what I want in my life, and pursued fame and used things that happened in their life for the elevation of their fame or to gain fame. That is not G.Rose Blanchard. G.Rose's case was already public knowledge. Even before she got out of prison, people were making tons of content about how G.Rose was getting out of prison. And for the past 10 years of her life, she had been in prison, and her story was being told by media conglomerates that really didn't care to keep the facts accurate, that just used her story for money and power and fame. Before that, her life was being used, or what was supposed to be her life story was being used by her mother Didi to gain sympathy from others as a result of her mental illness. When she got out of prison was the first time in her life, at least so publicly, that G.Rose Blanchard has been able to tell her story the way she experienced it. Whatever happened to G.Rose Blanchard? If this video has given you any additional context to this case or just given you another perspective to think about, please do consider liking the video. It really does help with the algorithm, and I am a really tiny channel right now. I mean, I am extremely grateful for all of the support that I've received in the past videos that I've posted. We just hit 200 subscribers, which is really exciting. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing if you want to help me hit 300. I was hoping to hit 1,000 by the end of the summer, which is a crazy goal, but hey, it's the summer. I'm gonna try and be on my video grind. Thank you so much for watching. I love all of you, and good night.